everybody. Welcome to John D Podcast. I'm your host, John D Miller. Welcome to episode number 71, numero 71, in the old Espanol language. That's right. Mm-hmm. That's how I should say it. 1,383 going on 1,384. Is it 83 or is it 84? Is it 84, 85? Shit. No, I think it's 183 going on 184. Yeah, because it's after midnight when I am recording this. So that's what that technically is. But I don't know, if I wanted to cheat a little bit, I could say 84 going on 85 because it's been so long since I've been here. And, you know, I don't know when it's going to come out. So maybe if it's a day or two, then I might have an issue. Because then I'm behind. I don't think I've done that much in all my time of doing John D Podcast. I don't think I've done that. I don't think I have. Anyways, how are yous? How are yous? How are y'alls? It's got 3 years, 9 months, and 15 days. Is that what it was? Is that what it is? Oh my gosh. You know, if you had told me 3 years, 9 months, and 15 days ago, hey, John, or maybe a little before that. So, but if you said, hey, John, in this amount of time, almost 4 years, you're going to be at not having drank in that long. And I've probably been like, hey, shut up and give him a shot. That's probably what I said. Shut up, quit lying, faker. I think pretty much by this point, when I was at this point, when I started quitting 3 years, 9 months, and 15 days ago, I was ready to be done. So that's why I was saying you got to back it up a little bit. I think it's always funny when people talk about, if you told me such and such amount of time, I'm like, well, but at the time, you were ready to be done, or you were getting to a point where it was, go back a little further. And then I was telling my lovely wife, Liz, that's the thing. You go back 10 years and then talk to me. If you had said, hey, John, in 10 years from now to this day, next December here in 2014, and 10 years from now in 2024, you will have been almost 4 years with no booze. I'd said, and then what else happened? And then you would have told me all the other crazy shit that was happening in the world. And I've been like, okay, well, I would have thought that with all of that, I would have continued drinking. And I did for almost 4 years, which coincides with a lot of stuff that's going on right now. And I don't know, am I going to have to start drinking again? That's what the fuck I want to know. I don't know if I don't even want to go into it. I have told myself, everybody, I'm like, look, I want this to be a bastion of where everybody can come together. Not necessarily. I don't want to lie and say that. If you support certain things and certain people, I don't want you to listen to this podcast. But if you're a nice, kind person that likes to laugh at dumb shit and listen to myself, then yeah, come on in, hang out, let's have a good time. Because we are better than that. We're going to do what we can. And we're gonna deal with it. And, on both sides of this, wherever you might lie as far as political parties go, there are allies to each other in both. There are allies to each other. So, remember that. And I don't know, maybe we'll have some new movement. I just hope that we, as a country, don't take a giant movement and become total garbage. Time will tell. But our own fortitude and the way we handle it and the way we do things with each other is going to be key. Okay? So, that's what I'm going to say about that, at least for now. Okay. I think that was good. All right. But yeah, thanks to everybody. Thanks for listening to episode 70. I know it has been 2 months since I was here, a little over 2 months. And I am very sorry, but I have been busy, which has been very cool. But I do want to say thank you to everybody who listened to episode 70. That was by myself. And you people, I don't know what it is. You show up. It's not always the same amount of numbers. People go, if it's always the same every time, well, then it's probably bots and all that shit. I know how it works. Okay. I'm not an idiot. Okay. At least I'm not in the sense of I know how podcast statistics work. Say that again, jerk. Anyways, I get all that. But you guys keep showing up for me. And then, and then I get the residual every once in a while. Somebody might find it and everything else. But thanks to everybody who listened to it. It was really cool. And a non-explicit episode. A couple people, is this what you're going to do all the time? No, I am not. As you've already heard, this one's not going to be a non-explicit episode. But anyways, thank you to everybody. You keep turning up for me, and I love it. And hopefully you turn up for this one because I know it has been a long time. Oh, real quick, I want to do this. Big shout out real quick to Mr. Patrick Logan for having me on his show again at Another Round Bar and Grill. And man, that was awesome. It was fun. It was weird. Once again, it's weird going to a place that I grew up going to. That was like a Greek. It was called the Celebrity Room. It just, I don't know. I did like 12 or 14. I did it, okay, here's why I mention it, is because I've been working on new material. I know. I haven't been doing the stand-up that much as I'd like to be. But other things have been going on. Got it. But here's the thing. I have been working on material, and my set was a showcase set, but whatever. But you know what I really liked was there were segments. I'm starting to put together segments of jokes, of routines. Okay, this joke's going to go here, and this is going to go in this spot, and then this is going to, and that's how comics build acts. And I went there last night with that in mind, with that intention. They were a little uptight. I'm not going to lie. They were a little uptight, and I wasn't as polished as I would like to have been, but a lot of my material wasn't because it was new. But I think that I dug it. I was digging it. At first I got off stage and I was like, man, and that's every comic. Like, you'll get people that say to you, oh, great set, man, great set. You're like, that sucked. That was not, and not necessarily that it sucks, but as a comic that it could have been better, right? As a comic, you always want to do your best. I don't think there's any comics that go out and they're like, yeah, all right, I'm going to kind of like I'm going to half-ass this. As a comic, you always want to do well. And so I think it's really, if you're worth your salt and you're trying mentally, I think then physically, you're going to do all you can in your own particular style to make it as good as you want it to. And I mean by like delivery, cadence, your timing, making sure your words are said correct. Like, right? That's what it is. So I wasn't happy with this set. But I was happy listening to it later on with the segments that were going into it. I think that was huge. And I really liked it. I had some nice little strings that were a good minute or two. And you might go, that's it? Yeah. But these are the, when you grow a plant, you know what I'm saying? Any kind of plant, just any kind of plant, not one particular plant type or anything. But when you grow a plant and you first get those sprouts and they're coming up and you got a few leaves on it and you can make out the shape of the leaf and you can tell what kind of leaf it is. But my point is that's what these are. That's what these are becoming. And not that any of my jokes have ever been more than a couple minutes. I mean, whether they be a little bit longer, some jokes, when you write them out, they become longer. They just kind of string them together, or you write one joke and then a month later you write the other one. It's one reason why, like when my buddy Daryl Purvis was on, when he was on a little while back, he was saying how like the more you work, the more you write. And I feel like if I was doing more gigs, I feel like I would have written more by now had I had more gigs, but I haven't. But I'm happy with what it was. I was happy with what it was. So a little bit of insight there. The pieces are coming together. Well, my one old joke that I made into a new joke is still doing very good. Yeah. All right. So here's what's going on. I know last episode, no sponsor. And also a couple people were like, dude, that commercial you did and recorded, I don't know how long ago, it's getting a little stale. I'm going to do this, but I'm going to read it. I'm actually read it myself because, yeah. Anyways, please welcome back to the podcast, everybody. BlendJet. Oh, boy. When I quit booze for good, because I did. I quit booze for good. I'm done with them. I'm done with it. They say you need it, but you really don't. All right, when I quit booze for good, one thing I learned was to always keep your palate entertained. And that is absolutely true. That's 100% true. And one of my new favorite ways when I made it happen was the BlendJet 2. All right. BlendJet 2 is portable. Yeah. You can just throw that thing wherever. Just take it with you, put it in your car. You can blend up a smoothie at work, protein shake at the gym, or even an NA margarita on the beach. I know it's the same wording as the actual commercial that I had before. This is going to be funny. It's small enough to fit in your cup holder. That's right. I was saying you can put it in your car. I just said that. Yeah, you can put it, cup holder. Put it in there. I mean, people might wonder if it's a bong or something for a minute. When they first get in the car, they might see it and go, what the fuck is that? Oh, it's a little blender. Like, yeah, got a little smoothie going on. Or whatever. Milkshake. That's my preference. Right? Okay, so it's small enough to fit in a cup holder, right? We were talking about that, but it's powerful enough to blast through tough ingredients like ice and frozen fruit with ease. Yeah. And here's the thing about it. For all you hunters out there, there's a camouflage version, okay? And here's the thing about BlendJet. Whisper quiet. It's very quiet. So if you're making up some smoothies out in the old duck blind or tree stand, right? And one of your buddies pulls out the camouflage BlendJet. First off, you're going to go, what are you doing? Is it loud? No, man. Nah. Just whisper quiet. He'll be like, you want some? You'll be like, yeah. And you'll be like, what'd you put in it? And he's like, PBR and pork rinds. And a little bit of orange Gatorade so you don't get no scurvy. But it is. It's what it is, whisper quiet. So you can make your morning smoothie. It lasts for 15 plus blends. It freaking better. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it lasts for 15 plus blends, and you can recharge it quickly via USB-C. Everybody's going to USB-C nowadays. You don't need a lightning adapter for it. Any of that stuff. It's easy. All right. And best of all, BlendJet 2 cleans itself. Yeah, really. I'm serious. Literally just, dump out the leftover PBR and pork rinds smoothie and then just blend water with a drop of soap and you're like good to go. All right. All right. Or whatever you had. Your morning smoothie with your kale and yogurt. Disgusting. As I was saying, they do have 30 plus colors and patterns to choose from. There's the BlendJet 2 to complement just about any style. Maybe they have a blue one. I think I might get the wife one. It's got this like marble pattern on it. It's kind of cool. I think it's more her. All right, so here's what you need to do. Go to blendjet.com, grab yours today, and be sure to use the promo code JohnDPod12 for 12% off your order and free 2-day shipping. No other portable blender on the market comes close to the quality, power, and the innovation of the BlendJet 2. They guarantee you'll love it or your money back. I don't know how that works, but... Oh, wait, I'm supposed to read this verbatim. They guarantee you'll love it or your money back. Blend anytime, anywhere with a BlendJet 2 portable blender. Go to blendjet.com and use the code JohnDPod12 to get 12% off your order and free 2-day shipping. Shop today and get the best deal ever. BlendJet 2. All right. That was a long commercial. But it was a fun commercial. And do that while you can, okay? All right, well, let's all keep on rolling. I want to talk about NHL, maybe a little NFL real quick before we get to the email from Arjay. I want to give it up for my Washington Capitals for starting the season. As I'm recording this, they are 17-6-1 and have been without the great Alex Ovechkin for the last few games because he broke his fibula, which sounds like something is in space, doesn't it? No, I know, nebula. But I'm just saying, if you were talking to somebody in a bar and you were hammered, they're like, yeah, the horse head fibula. And you wouldn't probably, no, that's a nebula. I'm not saying you'd be talking about like that in a bar. I'm just saying, I've had some dumb conversations in bars. You never know what could happen. I'm just saying, if somebody said fibula and you were hammered, I'm not sure you would catch it. That's my point. But yeah, he fractured. But yeah, he fractured his fibula. Ovechkin did, and he's been out 4 to 6 weeks. Apparently, he's skating now. But I'm just saying, the team has responded. They are playing very well. I gotta say, we're a quarter into the season, a little over. They look good. I've been watching those Caps since '86. I'm telling you. I'm saying I've watched a lot of hockey in my day. I've talked about it before, but I like this team. I like them. I like their additions. I didn't like losing some of the people we lost. I didn't like losing Nick Jensen, but the pickup of Chikrin, who's been doing, has been awesome. So shout out to them. I love it. I love it. And when Ovi comes back, he's got 27 to break the record. He would have done it by Christmas probably, but now, no. I don't know. We'll see when it happens. Two lockouts and then now an injury. I mean, he should already be done by now. I'm not necessarily playing, but as far as getting this record, he should already be done with it. It should be done. So that kind of sucks, and I felt bad for that guy because he was tearing up, man. He was tearing up. The team's still doing it without him, which, when your AHL team, such as the Hershey Bears did the last 2 years winning the American Hockey League championship, you got some talent in the system. So I'm glad to see it coming to fruition. Keep doing it, Caps. I want to get to this now because, one, it's long overdue. Because I got this email, I don't know, a month ago. And I've already communicated with the author of the email. Is that what it is? I've been working on too many literary podcasts lately. No, this guy wrote to me after episode 70, where I do it. You can do it too, okay? If you take the minute mark of the episode title, you put it in an email to me with the episode title, where it appears at the minute mark of the episode, and you're the first one to do it. I'm not doing 30 of these freaking things, well, it'd be a lot more than that if everybody did it. But it's the first one. It's the first one to do it, okay? Don't be like, hey, I sent you an email. Where is my gift card? Because that's not going to happen, okay? That's just not going to happen, all right? Oh, where's Mike Diesel when I need him? All right. So I got this email, and this guy, like I said, he wrote it into me, and you could do it too with the minute mark, title the episode, write to johndpodcom@gmail.com. Make sure you have it be something that I'm going to recognize. Like, say, episode 71. And you can even say the title of the episode in the email, subject or whatever, and then just whatever. I'm just saying, make sure it gets my attention, okay? Because I've gotten emails from people, and they didn't put anything that was very, descriptive of what the email was in the subject line. So I either glanced over it or, I do check spam and stuff every once in a while. But I'm just saying, you just make sure I see it, okay? This is from Arjay. And he wrote in to get the Amazon gift card, $10 Amazon gift card, if you're the first person to do this. I mean, it's a quick email. Just, if you're listening, make a mental note, write it down, and then send it to me. I'll send you, and you're the first one. I'll send you an Amazon gift card. All right, so this is from RJ, spelled A-R-J-A-Y, not RJ. I know, I've known an RJ in the past. This is RJ. Did I get an RJ? Did I get an RJ? That's going to be weird if I did. Did I? I'm going to have to go back and check. Or maybe it was one that I got and I didn't end up reading the email. I don't know. Oh, memories. All right. So this is from RJ. And the subject episode, this is what he said. He said episode 70 title and a couple of questions. Because he does have a couple of questions, which is another reason why this email is very cool. All right. He says, hi, John. This is RJ saying hello from Reno, Nevada. Yeah. And this is the thing. I told RJ when I emailed him, and if he's hearing this, he'll hopefully he's still a listener. Yeah, I do see Reno pop up on my little things. Because in podcasts, you get a map and you can see where people listen to you. It's kind of cool. But it's not always that accurate because sometimes the places are, what do they call them? Like central locations, data centers and stuff like that. So, but I do see Reno pop up, so that's pretty cool. He says, I've got the last episode title for episode 70, Lightning Bug Down. Lightning Bug Dow. Well, he put Dow, which you mentioned at the 1458 mark. And I emailed him. I said, Dow? He said, no, I meant down. That was a typo. And I said, all right, cool. So he says, hopefully I'm the first to get it to you and can snag that Amazon gift card. And yeah, you were the first one. We'll just leave it at that. All right. So yeah, it's out there, man. And I know there's people who listen. I don't know. Well, I don't get at least a few more. I have gotten on other episodes. I've gotten more than just what I got for this one. But anyways, RJ, congratulations. You got the $10 Amazon gift card. Very good. He says also, and this is also one of the things I liked about this email is because I do like talking about comedy, and I want to sort of keep this podcast focused on comedy as much as I can, amongst some other things. But it's one of the big topics I want to be a part of this podcast. When does a comic know they've transitioned to being a working comic? I thought that was an interesting coin of phrase, the way it was said. Because people say all the time, oh, a pro comic. Well, a pro comic. Like, and I'm not talking about where you got your first gig and I made $20. I made $20 and I'm a pro comic now. Ha ha. Okay. Yeah, do that joke. It's fine. Joke around like that. But you're not a working comic. And I had to think about this. And RJ, I didn't email with you the answer. So here it is. When you're a working comic, it's when you pay your bills with it. And I don't mean just paying your bills like, yeah, I work this place or I work the clubs. I work the Funny Bones and the Comedy Zones and I do stuff like that. And that's great. And those are fun. Most of them. Not all of them are. To me, when you're really a working comic is when you take a gig that is probably going to suck, either because you've heard it's going to suck or because you've been there before and it sucks. And so what you do, and it could be either looped into a bunch of other nights, it sucks, but it's part of the package, or it could be the type of situation where, you take the gig, because on the flip side of it, even though it's going to suck, there's money involved. And you have an overpriced 1-bedroom or loft apartment or whatever the heck those things are, that, you're like, shit, I gotta pay for that thing. Maybe you bought a car when you had a decent paying job or were working a lot more, and now you got to pay for the car. You got bills, and on the flip side of this gig, there is money involved, and so that you do the gig. Also, as an add-on to that, I would say that you're a working comic when you take a gig, and you go to the gig, and you're like, and this is also in the money factor. But you get there, and let's say you don't even really like working for the booker, or you don't even know him that well, and maybe it's not that far a drive. And like as the show's going, like the MC's on, or maybe the feature act's on, depending on where your position is in the show at the time, and you're like, this is sucking. Like this is terrible. And you're like, I could just leave. I could literally just leave and not even do this show and just leave, and nobody would even, you might get a phone call from the booker for whatever. I'm like, hey, what the hell happened to you? And whatever, dude, bye. Which is not a good thing to do. You don't want to burn bridges in anything because word does get around. But I'm just saying, you're there and you're like, man, I don't want to do this. But once again, it is a simple factor of you gotta pay your bills with it. That is when you're a working comic. When you do shows that you don't really want to do because, you know what? There's money involved. And you know that you can go up there and tell some jokes. And whether you sit there and talk to the lights for 30 minutes or 40 minutes or whatever, I got to admit, I was pretty fortunate in a lot of with headlining gigs. I didn't end up or do them either by choice or just by happenstance, where I was in a terrible situation where I was going to have to do 45 minutes to just crickets, and I was there, I'd done it. I mean, I'd seen it so many times being on the road. I remember one time I was in Michigan, and it was like a run you did in Michigan, and there was this one night you go to, and it was this big giant room, and there was 6 people there, and everybody sat in the back where you couldn't see them. It was awful. Like, a couple people laughed, and the owner was like, hey, you're expected to do 30 minutes. I'm like, okay. He's like, the guys last week, it was like this, but I'm trying to build it up. He probably never did, but they cut early. And then after the show, the guy, wanted to sit there and argue with me about getting paid for it, and I'm paying you to do 30 minutes. I want you to do 30 minutes. Okay. That's what I'm going to do. So you literally just, I don't know. It's kind of funny when you, I had sometimes where you didn't even tell jokes. You literally just sat there. Like, I remember one time I was so bored telling these jokes and just nobody was listening. And it looked like the place I was at looked like somebody taking a Bennigan's and made it into like a, local watering hole. Just nobody was paying attention. And I just sat there. At one point, I just started talking about the weather, literally talking about the weather. And yeah, but I stayed up there. I did my time. Because I needed the money. And that, RJ, is when you're a working comic. Yeah. And I asked you in the email, my email back to you, couple of emails. But if you are a comic or want to be a comic, I don't know. But I haven't gotten a response to you on that. But I don't know. That's what I would say. All right. So just keep that in mind. If you know somebody who's a comic and they say they're a working comic, that's the other thing. You're a working comic if you get more than 4 gigs a month that are paid. If you make $500 a month, I consider you a working comic. And I know it's not going to pay a lot of bills, but that's going to pay some of your bills. I mean, that's a working comic. A pro comic, I don't know. Is there a distinction? I don't know. I guess a pro would be somebody, I guess, who does nothing but. Because I definitely, over the years, have done things that were comedy and other things that were not comedy, including bringing people food in various different settings, making the food, kicking people out of places where they go to get drunk, a lot of that, and then some other stuff too over time. Yeah, do what you got to do to survive. All right, now on to his second question, which is, any chance we'll be seeing some of your new stand-up? Yeah, once the jokes get to that point. I mean, most of what I have on YouTube or anything else like that is like shitty club recordings where you can hear me, but you can't hear the audience, or you hear too much of the audience, or, there's not a lot of middle ground in between for it. So everything I do now, I don't record my sets video-wise. I just record audio. And I could put the audio out, but the new stuff it's not ready yet. It's getting there. As I was saying before, there are some bits and pieces to what I'm doing that I really do like. So, and he says, I really enjoy the podcast and appreciate what you're doing. Looking forward to hearing back. Arjay. Well, thanks, man. Thanks for writing in. That was a fun thing to have. That was definitely, I appreciate it. And you got a $10 gift card out of it. Like I said, for Amazon. But no, I appreciate that. And, hopefully I answered your questions. And I will try to have some video out. Not that a lot of people ask, but people do or have been asking, well, when are we going to see the proof? And not my wife. She, not that she doesn't care or want to see it. She just, I'm saying, like, she trusts me when I say I'm going out to do comedy. I'm not doing other stuff. At least I hope so. I would think so. I don't know. We got that phone tracker thing. She can look. She can see where it is. At least I hope she does. All right. Well, we need to start wrapping this up, don't we? Yes, we do. You know what? I forgot to do it earlier, and I wanted to give a shout out to, I did a little private event show in my local area here back in October, end of October. We'll leave it at that. It's for a local group. Nothing nefarious. Everything's legal. But it was Judd Howard, Will Miner, Kenny Wingle, and Apple Brown Betty all came and did awesome sets on the show. And it was a small show, like 50 people, but it was in a nice little venue. And it was no, it was not a jail. We were entertaining the inmates. No, it was a good time, and they all did really well. And I want to thank them. And if you ever see them, see their names: Judd Howard, Will Miner, Kenny Wingle, Apple Brown Betty. Go see them, because they are all fantastic in their own rights in each respectively. And I really appreciate them being out. And I don't know if they'll hear that, but I'm telling you, it was such a good time. It was such a good show. It worked out so perfectly. Like, each one of them had their own sort of way that they were, and their own style. And that was cool. But I will be back to have, maybe at least talk to you for a little bit before Christmas, if that's okay with you, whether I'm alone or not. I might get the wife. She was talking about it the other day. Not the other day, a couple weeks ago. Something like that. I don't know. It's been a while. Since the last episode, damn it. That's what I'm saying. She said, what will we talk about if I was on there again? I'm like, I don't know. Probably had to be better than what it was before, because before, when she was on, we were drinking. So, which good for her. She hasn't been drinking the last couple months herself. So, good job, baby. Love you. All right, let's get going on this. It is the holiday season, right? We do know that it is the season of giving, right? So let's get to our charities, okay? But please, before I do, make sure you like, subscribe, download, tell your friends, leave a review on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts if you don't mind. It helps bring notoriety to the show. And also, don't forget to follow me on social media, John D Podcast on Facebook, John D Podcom on Instagram and Threads, and also John D Podcom on that Blue Sky thing. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I don't even know. But I feel like I don't do anything. And no, I'm not. I'm still on Twitter. Yeah, I said it. Suck it, Elon. I don't know how much longer it's gonna be on there. And I kind of just use it now more to just sort of look around. You can follow me on there if you want. John D Comedy, John D Podcast, but I might be done. I think the podcast is done. If you want to follow me, my John D Comedy, then maybe I'll do that. But it seems like it's just a bunch of bullshit on there now. So, I don't know, I like the Blue Sky thing. Maybe it'll work. Now, all of that said, back to the charities. All right, No Kid Hungry. Okay, a lot of the kids in school-age kids, their best meal of the day comes from when they're in school. They don't get a lot of food when they're out of school. No Kid Hungry helps get the kids food when they're not there, when they're not in school, when they're away from it. Like weekends, holidays, holiday breaks, Christmas breaks. Yeah, I know. We're all like, yeah, it's holidays. We're eating cookies. Well, there's a lot of kids out there who aren't, okay? No Kid Hungry. Wounded Warrior Project. All right, especially in this holiday season, the brave men and women deserve the best care we can give them after they return home, especially during the holiday season, taken care of, shown some holiday cheer, but also getting treated for wounds that are external and or internal that they might need help with, or even just accessible housing. Wounded Warrior Project, bestfriends.org, making a difference by helping dogs and cats be adopted faster in more numbers. Their goal is to have the entire country no-kill shelters by the year 2025. All right, check out those charities if you can and support them. And for all that charity, if you got time for a little chair of me, you can support the show through our official listener support at Venmo at John D Podcom. If you find it on there, you'll see a picture of me on stage at the Hollywood Improv in 1999 or 2000, something like that, wearing a flowery shirt and rocking a goatee. You got to see it. You got to see it. It'll cost you $1 or $5. $5. All right, you can go look for free, but a donation. It's like when you go to the museum. They're like, well, you don't have to pay to get in, but it's a what do they recommended donation? Is that what they call it? I remember going to the New York Met, the Met Museum of Art. I was up there one time, I think I was hanging out with Daryl Purvis, actually. He was like, really, the art museum? You want to go? Okay, whatever, eh? So we went, and they were like, it's a suggested donation, but it was like $20 or something. And I said, I'll give you, I have 15. And then when that's a person, I'm like, there's two of us. I said, I think I said, I'll give you 20 for the both of us. They said, okay. I said, all right, thanks. Good negotiating. All right. So anyways, check out those charities. And then, like I said, if you want to support the show, Venmo, John D Podcom. And I already did the social media. Don't need that. YouTube, John D Podcom. Go look at my little pitiful YouTube thing. I know I need to put some new stand-up on there. Make sure you're following the correct one because there is more than one. It should redirect you, but maybe I screwed it up. So in that instance, try to find it, John D Podcom. Executive producers for the show, Tom Hancock and Liz Miller. They do what they do to help make this happen in their own ways. This was recorded by me, yours truly, John D. Miller, in the Faraday Electric Heater Studio. I'm giving them a plug. I am. This thing's kicking. You might be able to hear a little bit, but it's a lot quieter. I got it last year. Thing's going. I'm going to name my studio just for free, Faraday. Just because of this one you got me is awesome. I like it. And don't forget the BlendJet, John D Pod 12 for your code for 12% off and free shipping. I know Christmas is around the corner. Oh, one of the other charities. One of the other ones I know around where I live, it's called Puritan Cleaners. They're cleaners. You take your stuff and dry cleaning and all that type stuff. And the ones around here are called Puritan. That's a chain of them, I know. But there's probably ones around where you live, depending on where you live, where you listen to it. I know I have people around the country and even the world, not in Australia. I know it's summertime there, so we're excluding you. But hey, when your winter comes back, when it's July here, you could do it. I'm sure they got coat collections. Anyways, point being, if you're in the northern hemisphere, right? If you're in the northern hemisphere, and there's probably some sort of a coat drive to help get some kids out there. And people, there's also ones that do it for adults as well. I don't know. It's an important thing. A good coat is important because we're human beings, damn it. So, all right. And that's what I want everybody to remember. I know we're all doing holiday stuff and getting everything rolling, and that's great. Let's keep enjoying that, and let's try to stay civil and sane. And I should hopefully be back to talk to you before Christmas, but enjoy the preparations, enjoy the part of it that is some of the best part of really. I mean, when you're a kid, I think you enjoy the length of the season more as an adult, and then as a kid, it's the anticipation and the build up to the big day, and God just wanted to be here. It's fun to be out of school, but come on now, we're all just waiting. It's a big day. It's a big, big day. But enjoy the prep. That's what more as adults we do, right? We enjoy that part. The wife was putting out some stuff tonight. She loves the hippopotamus for Christmas. She loves that, it's fine. It's fine. The 92nd time you hear it, it gets a little old, but it's okay. Okay? So enjoy the prep. Stay focused. Stay humble. Stay honest. Right? And especially this time of year, but really all year round, make sure you take care of yourselves, take care of each other. And until next time, later for you.